Good day. Welcome to Mr. Roche's Flip Class Math 10 Low Budget, Low Tech videos. We're going to continue in our series of right triangle trigonometry, and we've already investigated part 1, which was finding out what trigonometry is, how to name sides, as well as the 3 primary trig ratios. We've also done part 2, which is finding an angle using right triangle trig ratios, and now this is part 3, where we'll be finding out how to find a side using right triangle trig ratios. Like part 2, I'll set it up like this, where we have an example, as well as the steps, and I'll follow the steps through a solution. And it's important to keep in mind that the solution for this will involve one of the 3 trig ratios, but we can also use the other 2 ratios exactly the same way, just involving a different pair of sides. Again, we'll need a calculator for this. And again, it's important to make sure that you are in the proper mode, and that mode is the degree mode. So I'm just going to check mine. Perfect. Okay, first thing we're going to do is write down the trig function we will use in this particular question. Well, we have to see what we have. Right now we have a reference angle. That's the angle that's involved in the question. In this case, they give us an angle. We also have this side, which would be the adjacent side to this angle, and this side, which is involved because that's the side we're looking for. You'll notice that this side over here, the opposite side, is not involved. They're not asking for it, it's not giving to us anything. Okay, so which of the 3 trig functions uses the adjacent hypotenuse? Well, that would be cosine. So I write down cosine. Now, I could put cosine of angle, whatever that is. I could give it a symbol or a letter, but I already know the angle, so I'm just going to go straight to saying cosine of 56 degrees equals, the sides are, sorry about that, adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay? So now I'm going to substitute in the known information and find the ratio found by the given angle. Well, this time, if you recall in part 2, when I had to find the angle, I had to use the inverse cosine, or the inverse tangent, or the inverse sine in order to get the angle. But in this case, we're looking for the ratio. And I can find the ratio that a 56-degree angle makes simply by using my calculator and hitting sine, cosine, or tangent. In this case, cosine. So I'm literally going to go cosine 56 degrees. I don't have to put degrees, just cos 56. In some of your calculators, you will have to hit the angle first and say 56 cos. Okay, and I get a decimal number. It's 0.5592. 5592. It was actually 19, but I rounded to 4 decimal places. That's the critical number of places I want to use all the time. Okay, equals, the adjacent side is my 21 centimeters, so 21, over my hypotenuse is my unknown, or x. Okay, now I'm going to solve for x using cross multiplying. I'm just going to put this over 1, and now simply cross multiply to solve for x. 1 times 21 is obviously 21, so I'll take that product of 21, divided by this third number will give me the unknown. So x equals 21 divided by that ratio is 37.55. Well, I'll round it to 1 decimal place, which is where I normally round things to unless otherwise specified. 37.6 degrees. I'm sorry, 37.6 centimeters. We just found a side, not an angle. All right? Now, the process will be the same every time, regardless of which side I'm looking for. It's just that sometimes we'll use tangent or sine instead of cosine. Okay? Had this x been on top, okay? So let's say we knew the hypotenuse and we're looking for the adjacent, these would be reversed. X would be on top, and some length of the hypotenuse would be given down here. Let's say it was 10. In this case, when we cross multiply, we would go this times this. Of course, I don't have to bother dividing by 1 because it wouldn't change. So sometimes we multiply the side and the ratio, and sometimes we divide, depending on the circumstances. I'll just return this where it was. This is 21 over x. Okay, and that's it. That's how we find a side. The next part, the final part in this series of trigonometry, will be part 4, and we'll be investigating applications and problem solving using right triangle trig ratios. Thanks for now. Have a good day.